Baki Rahen chapter 19, called The Reason for the Father's Invitation. And for this chapter, just like the last one, we get another manga cover of Jack. Lovely. The start of this chapter is a display of the next meal, your bone and lamb, sirs, warmed for several hours with a low temperature olive oil. I gotta be honest, ever since the last chapter, I really admired the way Itagaki draws food. Makes me feel kind of hungry as well, just looking at it, because it's so well drawn, and it looks juicy. All the foods that Itagaki has drawn have looked juicy. It's more tender than our standard grilled lamb. We used a berry-based sauce to give it a fruity flavor. The bone should really be removed. That's Yujiro's own remark on the meal. But it seems like Jack doesn't really mind about the bone as he chomps the whole thing down. He's still continuing his eating frenzy, just like the last chapter. From now, he has not slowed down in the slightest. He eats the entire meat in one bite, destroying the bone, and then proceeds to devour the entire thing, chewing effortlessly. Picks up another one, eats the entire thing whole, and grinds it in his mouth, crick, munch, thoroughly enjoying the food. And I was right to say that Jack was on an eating frenzy, because Yujiro also adds to what I say. You're a very active eater. I'm glad we got a private room. Imagine they didn't. Oh, the embarrassment. The embarrassment, man. Jack is licking his fingers. No table manners. But even the butler sweats a little bit because of the little sweat drop effect next to him. Shows he's uncomfortable and astonished by the way Jack eats. Because when he's eating, especially this type of food, he's gonna eat the entire thing whole. He finished everything. He washes the food down with more dry sherry. And he looks satisfied of what he just ate. Gives out a little burp. It was not really a burp, it's just exhaling. I'm thankful for this food. Both Yujiro and Jack bow down, giving gratitude to the food. And this just reminded me of how Jack doesn't need to be told to give gratitude for food, but Baki needed to be told to give gratitude because, before the dinner in this hotel, Yujiro and Baki had their home-cooked meal, and Baki was eating fast, and Yujiro told him, don't eat so fast, take your time with it, be patient, because the people that make this food, the process that it has gone through, it deserves gratitude. Jack didn't need to be explained that, he already knew. And he was eating fast because he never had food like this to begin with. So that's something you could let him slide on. You could just forgive him for that. Anyway, moving on. He says, I'm thankful for this food, but as Yujiro drinks his espresso, sorry to ask this right after our meal. Why did you invite me here? The room goes silent. Yujiro still has his calm expression. Jack goes ahead to drink his espresso. The butler is just waiting. He's just there. Do I need a reason? I'd like to hear in full what you've got to say about me. Yujiro's expression is more serious. It's more serious now. And the butler looks way more uncomfortable about the scenario he's in. I don't know what kanji that is. Maybe it's a gulp. But he doesn't look at ease right now. A father inviting his son to dinner. There's nothing strange about that. But Jack covers his mouth, smiling. Hey, what's that smirk for? It's just that kind of thing. Oh, and Yujiro senses something because his hair is floating. That's something a normal father and son would do, isn't it? Right here, Yujiro looks a bit confused. Do you really believe you're a normal father? Yujiro is still confused. He doesn't quite understand what Jack means. Either that or he's shocked, or he's surprised. It's like the butler knows what's happening here. Normal? Yujiro looks up and thinks, quite deeply. I've never really thought about that. That's just like you. And I say this with all due respect. Forget father, even as a human. Actually, even as a living thing, you're not normal. Oh, why this is so intense that the butler scared for his life. I'd like to pardon myself. If there's anything you need, please just call for me. As he bows and leaves. But I'd just like to mention that we had this view of the outside of the private room from the window, and that might come into play later. Just keep that in mind. So what you're saying is, I'm inhuman. No, I mean, I didn't mean it quite like that. Since you did say with all due respect, I'm going to pardon that remark. It's not really appropriate for a dessert, but Yujiro's hair is floating again. How about you stand up and come get what you're really after? Oh, the aura is there, the hair is standing up. This is just a clear sign. This is a clear sign that you just angered the strongest creature alive. Jack's there smiling because he knows what he did. He knows he wanted this to happen. But I'm gonna interrupt. I just like how it's just funny how Yujiro works, because when Baki purposely disrespected him to then that led to Baki getting thrown outside. Baki was doing that on purpose. He knew what he was doing and he wanted that to happen. But Jack, he made Yujiro angry, but he said it in a proper way, and he even added with all due respect at the end to make sure it wasn't out of line, but Yujiro still found that very offensive and he was angry because of that. See the difference here? It's like, what can you do to make sure this guy doesn't get angry at you? Continuing from this page, the next one is a widescreen shot of Jack and Yujiro. What I'm after, huh? Puts his hand on the table. The butler's outside the room now listening. There it is. Oh, I do love panels like this. Aren't you the one who really wanted this? Oh my. Yujiro grits his teeth. I'm gonna have you crying, you little. No bell, no referee. The moment one of us moves, it begins. Oh my. This is wild. I really do think one way or the other Jack is going out that window. It has to be like that. But let me know what you think. By the way, there will be a break next week, so I'll see you when the next chapter drops. The strong is the beautiful.